Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Athlete Zone podcast. Today, I have a special guest joining me. She is one of the most exciting athletes in softball, and she's representing the University of Tampa. She's already made a name for herself on and off the field. And today, we're going to be diving deeper into her journey, her brand, and the impact that she's making beyond the game. Our guest today is Kelsey Winters, a standout pitcher at the University of Tampa. Before stepping into the spotlight at the collegiate level, she had an impressive high school career, and now she's building something even bigger, her very own personal brand that resonates with fans and inspires others. We're going to talk about Kelsey's journey from her early days in Wesley Chapel, Florida, to becoming a Division I athlete and how she's using her platform to build a brand that represents something much bigger than just sports. First off, Kelsey, welcome to the show. How has Tampa been treating you?
Hi, thank you for having me. Tampa's been fantastic. I love it. It's my hometown school, my hometown area, Tampa Bay area. So Wesley Chapel's about half an hour north of here, which is where my family lives. And I've grown up in the Tampa Bay area since I was 7 or 8 years old. So it's been a really cool experience to be in the sun and back in my home area.
Yeah, so you have been back for a year now, you said?
hmm
So you've been
Yeah,
back for a year.
this is my
Did
second
you
year.
come back because it's home or because of the what the school offers for softball?
Yeah, so like softball wise, I kind of felt personally that it was time to make a change. And being away from home at my first school was rather challenging. It was a different weather, different climate, and a different lifestyle. Here, people like to move very fast and go outside and be very active, which is something that I had to leave before I recognized how important that really was to me. So I made the switch back to the coaches that recruited me out of high school. So I knew them. I knew they weren't leaving. I knew the pitching coach, and it was a really appealing factor of where the city and the school are located, and just everything that Tampa has to offer, from academics to athletics to just comfort in being home.
Yeah, so like it's not even just like home with your family, it's home with your coaches too. That makes sense. That's
Yeah,
actually really nice
yeah,
that that works out.
yeah.
So I want to get to know a little bit more about you as a person and your pre-college life. So can you tell us a little bit about where you grew up and how you got into softball?
Yeah, so like I said, the main place that I started playing softball was here in the Tampa Bay region. So I started playing when I was obviously in T-ball, so like 4 or 5. And I hated softball. I wanted nothing to do with softball or baseball. My mom sent me to softball camp when I believe I was in first or second grade. Sent me to softball camp at one of our local high schools, and I had gone, and it was for the first day, and I threw an absolute fit in the car because I didn't want to go because I didn't like softball, and I was playing soccer at the time, so I wanted to keep playing soccer because I really liked soccer.
Yeah.
But after this first day of this high school softball camp, I got back in the car and was like, "Mom, like, I want to play softball," and she was like, "Are you kidding me?"
That's
But
crazy.
yeah,
Just
ever
one day.
since, yeah, I don't know what exactly made me decide that this was it. But yeah, it all it took was one day of camp for me to go, yeah, I think this is probably going to be for me.
Wow. Well, your mom probably was very relieved. She's like, I'm making my kid do
Yeah,
something. And God.
yeah, yeah.
So what were your biggest influences growing up, both inside and outside of sports?
I would say that outside of sports, it would definitely be both my parents. Both of my parents work in environments that are very different from each other, but very applicable to the degree that I'm getting. So it really helped me to understand the personality and skill set that I was genetically handed.
Mm,
And it kind of allowed me to see how they work in their work environments and how they manage people. So I think seeing that early on really helped me from a leadership perspective and really helped me from an academic and like educational way, because understanding my skill set was really helpful in making a degree choice, and obviously making a career choice here coming soon. And then I would say in softball, my pitching coach, Jackie Davis, she's been my pitching coach since the day after my 13th birthday. Um, and we have gone through some pretty big ups and downs. But I owe every part of my pitching game to her. I mean, she's built it from the ground up. She's rebuilt it. Um, when my mechanics were lost, it was going through a hard time. But I mean, I can accredit everything that as a pitcher to her.
I
So I would
love
definitely say
that.
she's my biggest one.
I love that like it's not just like a coach, player relationship. Like it's been a long term, like almost like a extra parent in your life.
Yes,
I love
yes,
that.
yes.
What would you say was your proudest moment in high school athletics?
Um, in high school athletics, I would say that we won a district championship my senior year, and it was one of the things that we had been pining to do. Granted, it wasn't a state championship, it wasn't a regional championship, but we had lost our district championship, but they sent the top two seeds, so we had kept getting to go to regionals. But we didn't like losing the hardware, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. We didn't like being the second place, kind of like automatic bid anyway. So finally pushing over the hump and actually winning it
Yeah.
was a really big deal to us and our program and my teammates. And it felt really great to just get over the hump.
Yeah.
Um, so I,
No, that
that
makes
was
sense.
that was big.
I love it.
Yeah.
How did your family and community support your journey to becoming a college athlete?
Yeah, so my family, I mean, I made the decision when I was 9. So back to the early softball days, I decided when I was 9 that I wanted to play college softball. And so as many times as I tried to quit when I was maybe 10 or 11, or like one of those middle ages where things were getting hard,
Yeah.
my parents never let me quit. Because they were like, you need to listen to your coaches. They see something in you, they see the talent in you, and you're not going to walk away, pretty much. So my parents never let me lose sight of that, if that makes sense. So they really
Hmm.
did push me towards, and they often reminded me that this was something that I said that I wanted to do. So I needed to go ahead and accept that I was going to do it, which honestly turned out to be a larger life lesson in and of itself.
Yeah.
So now I can really at least have a larger picture idea of like what putting my mind to something really looks like.
Yeah, no, props to your parents because my parents had the different perspective of like, I'm not going to make you do something you don't want to do. So I quit everything right at that weird age of like 10, 11, 12-ish.
Mm-hmm.
They'd put me in a new sport, I'd
Yeah.
quit it. And definitely wish I didn't, looking back. It's just a weird
Yeah.
age. So that makes a lot of sense. It's good that they held you to it. Um,
Yeah.
if you weren't playing softball right now, what do you think you would be doing?
If I wasn't playing softball right now, I would probably be planning to graduate. If
Yeah.
that makes sense. I would be probably a little bit more upset about it being my senior year of college, and I would probably be in a sorority at a different school. But I'm so grateful that I do, in fact, play softball.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would probably be pursuing other passions like weightlifting, um, or postgraduate stuff, or working on what career I was going to go into in December,
Yeah.
things like that. But thank goodness for softball. Got another year.
No, right. And I do want to transition over from high school. High school is obviously a huge part of shaping who you are. But college athletics is a whole other level. So I want to talk a little bit about that transition. What do you feel like was the biggest adjustment you had to make going from high school to college athletics?
The biggest adjustment that I had to make wasn't necessarily from the environment, because I knew I was going to have to work hard. I knew there was going to be competition with way more players than I'd had in high school. I knew like there was going to be other people there just as good as me, if not better. I knew all of those things going into it, but for me, I'm a very analytical thinker. I'm a very, I don't want to say overthinker, but I like to analyze things and I like
Mm-hmm.
to think them through. So I would say the biggest jump from high school to college was that you can't think those things through. You can't really overthink things because you think yourself into a hole of no return. So that was probably the biggest challenge that I had, at least my first 2 years of college. I really struggled with like overthinking like a lot of the parts of my game that I knew I was solid in, but I let a lot of external factors kind of dictate what I was thinking about myself. And then I was overthinking them about myself. So I would
Yeah.
really just say that just trusting in my game was one of the. It was almost harder to enact rather than just to have.
Yeah. I honestly have seen that as kind of a common trend is the transition is less about, the struggles with a fuller schedule, harder practices. It's more like the mental
Hmm.
of all of it, especially
Yes.
with like
Yes.
softball and volleyball. I've heard that a lot. Um
Yes.
so you also had to make another adjustment transferring from Iowa to Tampa. How was that for you?
Um, it was it was pretty easy. I mean, I knew when I was there that it was time for a change. I it was one of those things that like you just can feel in your gut, and I just knew it wasn't right. And I knew having gone away from Tampa and Florida, like I knew the things that I actually did value, whether it's in my lifestyle or just in my day to day life or my education or like even in my relationships too. Um, it kind of made my priorities way clearer. So when I did go into the portal, I knew that Tampa was probably going to be an option, having had that pre existing relationship with those coaches. And I kind of had like I had my eyes set on going back to Florida. That was the bottom line.
Yeah.
But I really did have my eyes set on Tampa, because I wanted to be back in a place that I knew I could succeed. Like I knew there wouldn't be 100 other factors working against me while I'm also trying to succeed to sport a failure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm glad it worked out. Cuz
Yeah.
Tampa looks good on you. Um what would you say has been your favorite so far in your college career? Favorite moment?
Favorite moment was 100% last year. We won the regional championship and finally got to go to nationals, the World Series for the very first time in program history. Our team last year was, I mean, we set probably every program, I don't want to say record, but we broke so many records. We set so many new records. We finally pushed the line and finally made it to nationals for, like I said, the very first time in program history. And our coach has been there for 30 years, and she had never been to nationals. She never won the regional championship, never got into nationals. So it was her 30th anniversary of coaching last year, so it was a really big deal to us as
Oh.
players and also our coaching staff, because it had taken 30 plus years to get there, and we finally pushed the needle. Common theme here, I guess. Um,
Yeah.
but it was honestly a really great moment. A lot of we have two coaches that have been here for 30 years and one that's been here for 20. Um, so it was a really big moment, not only to us as players, but to our program and to our athletic department. Our athletic department has a very known brand name in Division II sports, for winning national championships and always being a national championship contender and always being a conference championship contender. So for us to finally go further than just winning conference meant the world to us through athletics and just us as a team.
That's awesome. That was actually going to be my next question.
Yeah.
Tampa achieved its first NCAA South Region milestone. Big program moment in 2025. Like reliving that moment, what did that feel like?
I mean, we often as like people that are returners, we often reminisce on those moments because it almost was a fever dream because you can only knock at the door for so long before you finally open it.
Yeah.
And it's been right there time after time again for us, and it was just really frustrating as like from like an alumni perspective and like a teammate perspective. Some of these girls were here 5 6 years because of COVID, and they were tired of being the almost the almost greats or the coulda shoulda woulda's. So it was amazing for us to go and live this moment as a first time moment. So like I often like look back on those things, and we spent 9 days in Chattanooga, which is the longest travel trip I've ever been on. Um, which
Yeah,
is kind of
that's
insane.
really long.
Yeah, 9 days there playing, and we didn't just make it to the World Series, we made it to the championship too, which was another just like mind-blowing thing for us because we'd never been here to begin with. So for us to go all the way was just even more like surreal for us, and I just remember taking it day by day. Like every morning we would wake up and we would just be like, wow, like what more could you be grateful for? Like this is, I mean, it was amazing to be able to wake up every day in the hotel room to get to play softball another day. I mean, it was great. I mean, I often reminisce on those times. I would say the whole 9 day trip of us going to nationals, of us in the World Series, that was, I mean, that's what you work for your whole life. That's what you dream of. That's what everybody dreams of when they play
Yeah.
sports. So to actually get to do it, um, I like those will be memories that I will cherish for the rest of my life.
No, I can like your excitement is infectious right now. Like I'm very happy you got
Yeah.
to have that experience during your career. And like yeah, you're the first. Like nobody else, no other team is going to be able to
Hmm.
say that. So it's kind of nice
Yeah.
to only
Yeah.
happens once. So good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you and your team. As you've
Thank
grown
you.
as an athlete, you've also started building something even bigger. You have started working on your own personal brand. So I want to talk a little bit about what your brand represents and why it's important to you. So, how would you say building your brand has helped you on and off the field?
I would say that building my personal brand kind of made me look introspectively at myself and kind of what I wanted people to see about me, so to say. Not necessarily from a softball perspective, but also just like in a presentation perspective. Like what design would I want it to be, and how would I want that to kind of resemble, like who I am as a person and stuff like that. It really, because when I thought about like, oh, like my friends and family will be, wearing this branding that I've created for myself, I kind of wanted to think about like them as representations of me, or as kind of like signals of me. So I really wanted to focus more on how to reflect that in like an illustrative manner, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. It
Um,
makes perfect sense.
yeah.
Yeah. Have you had any memorable moments where like fans or friends and family have connected with your brand?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, my friends and family love it. I mean, it's way more fun when you have a shirt that says like the person that you're there for. Like it's like wearing a jersey to an NFL game. Like it's just more fun that way. It's part of the larger nature of sports to begin with.
Yeah.
So my parents really love it. My friends really love it. And it's more fun after the game when people are like, "Oh, like that's a nice shirt. Like, where did you get that? Or how did you get that? Like, that's awesome. Like, like way to like rep."
Yeah.
So
You're like,
just
I
like
did it myself.
having those questions. Yeah, having those questions. I'm like, oh, like kind of kind of did it myself.
Yeah, I love it. What does fan support mean to you as an athlete?
Uh, yeah. I mean, it means a lot actually to be like, especially to be back home where community is far more than I could have ever imagined it being. At least like in my first 2 years, I didn't have the community because I was so far away. So it was people that I wasn't really super familiar with, and those people don't know you. They didn't play travel ball with you. They didn't go to high school with you. Stuff like that. But having the community here has been so immeasurably amazing. Like people from all walks of life, all walks of softball have come to my games, or I've seen them or played against them, or they're there watching another person that they know, and like it's so amazing. Like I vividly remember last year in the spring, I was just like, wow, like this is awesome. Like this is so amazing to have so many people like not only here to support me, but they're just here for the love of the game. And like
Yeah.
I get to be a part of the team that they're like coming to watch, and like a part of the school that they're like they know about and that they care about. Like it's so cool for me to experience having not had it the first half of my career. And I had no idea how, I guess, like how much it would mean to an athlete because I never had it.
Yeah.
But having it is just is I mean, it means the world. It means the world. You feel so loved. Whether I go 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, or I come out after pitching 2 innings or something like that, like I'm like, wow, there's still people here that love and care about me and are here to support me. And they don't care. So I'm like, it, what can you do? So it's amazing.
Yeah, no, I can only imagine. If there is one thing you could say to all of your supporters, what would it be?
Thank you.
Right.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, there's not really much else. Like, yeah, just thanks for sticking around. I
Yeah,
guess.
no, yeah. Well, this has been a great conversation, Kelsey, and I want to make sure that before you wrap up, we let people know where they can follow you, follow your brand. So, what are your social medias?
Yes. So my Instagram should be Kelsey Kelsey _Winters. So it's Winter with an S. And then I believe that my Twitter should be the same thing. Um, but yeah, other than that, the University of Tampa softball is U Tampa softball. Um, so find us there, follow our team along. It should be another fun year.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for taking time to speak with me today and let everyone get to know you a little bit more. It was really nice. Of
Yes, of course. Thank you guys for having me.
course. And to all of our watchers, thank you for taking your time to watch. Make sure to go and shop Kelsey Winters at athletezone.com. All proceeds support jumbling up my words. Every purchase helps support Kelsey in her journey.